What's up, friends? What is going on? We're just gonna have a relaxing night tonight. Not doing anything too crazy. Just gonna be working on the game. Let's see. What is the screen capture I'm trying to do? This one. Yeah, still working on dialogue system stuff. It's coming along though, and figured I'd do a little on stream tonight. Hello, Zelda. Zelda wants to come hang out too. Let's put on some music. Some chill vibes. Zelda's all about them chill vibes. See. We'll put on, let's put on some lo-fi. We can try to, I need to find a good playlist for video game music. Without copyright. We'll try this one. This is 10 hours of lo-fi video game beats. Alright, we'll see how it is. Alright, so what are we gonna be doing tonight? Good question. So, starting to work on this dialogue stuff, and I want it to be done right. I want it to look good. And Zelda, I'm petting you right now. You don't have to remind me to pet you while I'm already petting you. You're good. You just gotta chill out. Chill out, Zelda. You gotta chill out. You gotta chill out. I know. You feel good? Okay. So, I'm gonna be working on making all of this dialogue stuff look good. So I had this idea where the character goes up to the other character, and when you press the button to interact, it does several things, and that's what I got listed here. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna blow up the screen as I always do. So y'all can see a little better. So let me do that real quick. Whenever I start talking, Zelda thinks I'm talking to her, and she's like, oh, you must be summoning me to be petted. So I'm always dealing with this the first 20 minutes of the stream. Then she gets tired and falls asleep. Okay. So what I'm dealing with here is we want to recenter the camera between the player character, and the character who's going to be speaking. And we want to zoom in. So, because I have these nice high-res textures for the game, which is like, you know, the game is in this 2.5D perspective, where, you know, it seems old school, but the textures are actually pretty high res. I want to take advantage of that by just zooming right in. And so I'm going to do that during dialogue. Then I'm going to move the player to the proper location. So I'm not going to just leave the characters standing there where you hit A. I want them to move like alongside the other character, so that when we zoom in, the character and then the NPC are just like side by side facing each other. And depending on, well, I'll get to that in a moment. Then we draw on letterboxes, so it kind of goes into this cinematic type perspective where the black letterboxes go up and down on each top and bottom. And then we wait for all that to complete. And then the portrait of the NPC slides in depending on which direction that character is relative to the player character. And then the dialogue begins. So I don't know if we're gonna get to all of that tonight, but I would like to. We'll see. I know, Zelda. I know. I've been sitting next to her all day, and now she wants all these pets. She's not gonna let me go without giving her these pets. Get the rubs and the scratchies, get all of it in. All right, Zelda, I'm gonna have to start doing something. I gotta work, Zelda. I gotta work. I know. All right. So I was just working on some bookkeeping when it comes to the interactable stuff. So in order to do all that stuff that we were just saying, we need to have some sort of manager that does it for us, that holds the information that we need to communicate between all these different things, like the player and the player character and the NPC character. Being able to know where they're located, where one needs to go, where the other needs to face. I don't think I mentioned that, but the NPC needs to face the player when all this happens too. So that's a whole thing. So I took this basic structure to start with, and I have this interaction manager script. All right, Zelda, I've given you so many pets. You gotta chill out now. You gotta chill out, Zelda. You gotta chill out. I'm sorry, Zelda. You gotta chill out. I gotta work. I like this song. It's like, what is this? Oh, it's still the same. This one is called Megalovania. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if this is made by anyone or if it's just some random AI account. You never really know anymore. I just typed in video game music, no copyright, and this is what came up. Probably no copyright because it ends up being AI or something. Yeah, let's see. All right. Yeah, let's see. I'm actually more curious now where this is coming from. Oh wow, the account that it's connected to no longer exists on X. Well, that's a bummer. I wonder why that is. Yeah, one of the soundtracks I love to put on is the Doom one. I'll put that on for after. Okay, we gotta start working here. So I started with this basic script that we're gonna have to modify. So it's a singleton, and that's fine. Though I have half a mind to just not make this a to keep it a singleton in the sense that where there's an instance reference, I might just keep it so that it's static only. No, we'll keep it an instance. We'll keep it an instance for now. So what do we need? What do we need? Well, we have this field here called interaction data. Well, that's the type. It's called current interaction. And in this data is where we're going to be putting all that data that we need to do all those things that I was just talking about. So in here, I have some basic stuff. And so we're starting with the interaction type. So this can be dialog, pickup, inspect, that kind of stuff. But we're going to be doing dialog to begin with. So that's what this field will be filled with when the time comes. There's the interaction ID. Oh, this probably doesn't need to be in here right now, especially since this is a single player game. So we might just take that out for now. Then we have the transform of the interactor and the target. We definitely need both of those things. And then the timestamp, which is the time of interaction start. And then we don't need extra data. So I honestly am thinking maybe we don't even need this interaction data class. We can probably just move this stuff right into the manager. So it really comes down to, is it possible to have more than one interaction in the game at a time? At this time, the answer to that is no. Now, should I design for that in the future? Well, maybe. Design for more, that is. Maybe. I don't know. Am I going to right now, though? That's the real question. That is the real question. The other thing I just noticed is I have an empty water bottle. I'll be right back. Keep them entertained, Zelda. All right. Okay, so what are we dealing with here? Oh, we also have these events here which trigger when the interaction starts and when the interaction ends. Now, that is going to be very useful for things that I haven't realized yet, but I know there will be things. We'll figure that out soon enough. We get a little deeper in here. Let's see. Yeah, all right. This class isn't going to have a whole lot to it, so I'm going to get rid of this interaction data class. I'm just going to put it all in here. We don't got to get crazy with it right now. Okay. Oh, but that's right. The data is meant to be used to start the interaction. I take it all back. I take it all back. I do want that class. Forgot why I originally made it that way. In this way, an interaction is more contained, and unless coupled with the actual manager itself. So okay. Like I said, I don't think we need the ID, but all this other stuff is great to have. All right. So we're going to bring back that current interaction. Okay. So we're good here. We're going to save, and then we want to make sure that this manager exists. So during runtime. So we have in our gameplay persistent essentials, we have a managers category. And in managers is where we have all this stuff. So we're going to say interaction manager. Oop. Interaction manager. There it is. There it be. Okay. So we're good. Just gonna play the game just to show you real quick what I was getting at before. Okay. So I already did a bit of this earlier this week, but one of the big things that I had to do, I had to make sure that the enemies and the neutral NPCs, rather, I had to make sure that the character that you speak to can't be killed. And the way I do that is by having them automatically pop their shield whenever an attack is about to hit them. So this is what it looks like. After 1 second, it goes away. But no matter what you do to this guy, you cannot hurt him. He is invincible. And when you get close to him, nothing happens, which is not correct. He was supposed to have a UI callout, and that might be something. Here we go. Why aren't you doing the thing that you were supposed to do? Feedback did I remove? I think I might have screwed something up with some changes I did recently. So there should be an interactable script on this guy. I wasn't seeing that. Interactable. I'm going to search for it. Oh, because it's on this. Okay. I understand now. Ah, very interesting. We have a problem here. It was because of a recent change I made. So normally, when you walk up to him, the button callout should appear above his head for what the button is that starts the interaction. And you can see right here, the interaction UI is set to none. That's the problem. So we're going to back up a little bit here. We're gonna find that dialogue. Yep. Object. I'm gonna drag the canvas in. All right. So again, let's try it. Yes, there it is. Now when I go close to him, the F button appears above his head. So that's the way I intend it to work. So from here, I hit F, you can see over here, I have a printout saying the dialogue has been triggered. So that's all it does right now, because I still need to implement that stuff. But what's gonna happen is whenever I get close and I hit F, he's gonna automatically walk to like right here besides the guy, and then the camera is going to zoom in. And the camera will also move to center between these two rather than the just this guy here. It'll balance it out a little bit. And so just to give you an idea of what that would look like, oh, that's not working. Oh, I can't really demo this because I need to transform that. I'll be able to actually, oop, oh, yep, there it is. Okay, yeah, so it'll go like right in between. Yeah, just like that. And then they would both face each other. That's what we're dealing with here. And then we have the letterboxes, which I don't know. Actually, it's interesting because, oh, right. I did have the dialogue popping up earlier, but I ended up changing the scripts. I'm basically doing what I was just describing before with the other scripts. So things are a little broken right now, but that's okay because we got to break things to fix things. You know how it is. So, all right. The big question right now is, what is the next thing we do? And that's a great question. Question I need to answer. But first, I need to drag and drop this over here for reasons. Okay. So, that's why we have the list here. Tell us what to do, because less thinking. All right. So the first thing that happens is the center camera between two characters in Zoom. Okay. What do we need? What information do we need to make that happen? Figure out how I've been doing this multi-streaming thing. I want to make sure that I get the chats in view. Hold up a second real quick. Need to go to my creator dashboard. I didn't fully set all my stuff up. There we go. Oh, I see we got a new follower a couple hours ago. Jer Cycle, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. Cool. All right. And KQ5 4 days ago. I don't even think I've streamed for a week. Whoever you are, thank you. Okay. Center camera between two characters and zoom. What do we need for that? We need the transform of both of those things. And that's already part of this data here. But it also means that we need to set that data. So let's take a look at what we have here already set up. We have a class somewhere called Interactable. We have another class called Interactor. Anyways, Interactable. Is that the thing? I'm trying to find what is the thing that starts the actual interaction. I don't think it is Interactable, actually. It's Interactor. let's open up that file here. So that thing, this is a character ability, which means it has all the knowledge of its own character available to it. And it has some, I think what I did here, some things here I don't need. I might need to prune this class a little bit. For instance, we don't need a player ID. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just use ChatGPT to make me like a skeleton script right from the start, just to do a lot of the grunt work of having to like figure out any of like the what does it really need, and then I go through it and I make it what it's supposed to be. But it saves me a lot of time. It's just grunt work that no one wants to do, pretty much. Okay, interaction radius. Oh, you know what? I'm glad I just saw that, because I feel like the interaction radius was a little too short in here. So I actually want to take a look at. It's interesting because I know that there's an interaction radius on the interactor and the interactable. I'm wondering how they. So I'm actually thinking that maybe it's. Okay, so here's the interactable layer. So let's go to interactable, and so there's this interaction radius here. I suspect no one's actually using this. I would actually be wrong about that. Okay, it is being used. Interesting. Okay, so what's happening here is we have interaction check radius. That's what determines whether we can actually see the interactable as an interactable. And then it's down here that we're taking the distance and we're making sure that it's within the radius of the other thing. Okay, so the radius on the interactor takes priority over the interactable. And it always needs to be the same or larger, because the interactable radius basically clamps to the radius of the interactor. Okay. So let's see what the radius I had on the character was. Actually, on the it could have been either. So one thing we need to remember is we had to turn this back on because it was off, the dialogue component, and we need to assign the canvas on the interactable script. And the radius on that was 1. I want to set that to 2. 1 was a little too. I like this Pokemon remix. I like this Pokemon remix. Oh, whoops. Did I? There we go. Let's see, where's my voice coming from? It's from the mod view I brought up. Okay. Alright. Let's get back to it. So that should fix the issue of the radius. Let's check that real quick. Gonna hit play. So after, okay, so while we're waiting for that to play, we want to be able to trigger this in, so we have the interactor. Okay, in the start ability, that's when we call interact. So the question is do we have all the information we need to be able to interact? Okay, so here's, okay, that's what happens. Okay, so the interactor calls interact on the interactable and it passes itself into it. Okay, I know where we're going with this now. Cool. Okay, and right now we have that printout that says something was interacted with. Okay, great. Now we have a couple classes that are overriding this interact function, and that's okay because they call the base version of this function beforehand. So we're gonna actually remove that printout. Actually, no, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. But we're gonna make it a statement body. So it's still gonna have that debug log in there. And this is where I'm gonna put a comment in here to do trigger to the interaction manager to that an interaction has started. So the first thing we want to do then is create an interaction data. This is the data that we're going to pass to it. And let's check on our game. Okay, the game is up and running. So I'm going to move up to here. All right, cool. I think that's a good distance right there where that key shows up. And one other thing that I didn't show off really, which is cool, if I connect a controller, I connect a controller. You gotta connect the wires to both. You gotta connect both ends of the wires to get these things to work, apparently. All right, when I use the controller, it turns to a B rather than an F. So, you know, whatever the last thing that the player touches is, that's the icon that goes above the NPC's head. Now these icons are a little rough looking. They're just placeholders for now. That's okay. It's all good. They're just placeholders. We're gonna add some different textures in there eventually, but for now it works. Okay, so we're gonna kill this session there, and we're gonna go back to this. So here's where we're going to. I'm gonna take the to-do out of here because it's not really a to-do. We're to-doing it right now. So here's the data. And now I'm gonna say interaction manager dot instance dot on interaction started. Data. Oops. All right, I'm all over here. Dot invoke. Capital I invoke? Okay, what's the problem here? Oh, okay. I'm doing all this wrong. I did all of this wrong. Start interaction is what I want. We don't want to use the event. I'm silly. There we go. Yay, we've started the interaction. And then in here is when that event gets called. Yeah, okay. It's all good. Okay. So that is all well and good, and that sets us up. That basically allows us to, oh, you know what we didn't do, which was the most important thing? We didn't fill the data. So data dot target equals player dot transform dot position. Nope, just transform. Yes. And data dot interactor equals this transform. We also want to set the interaction type. I was actually just thinking of making this an enumeration rather than a string, so I'm actually going to do that. We're going to say enum interaction type. None, I guess, is a thing. Dialog. Okay. And then back over here, we're going to say that it's interaction data dot oh, you know what? I know what the problem is. We didn't make this public. There we go. Now we should be able to say dialog. Nope. Come on. Don't do this to me. Interaction data dot interaction type dot dialog. Oh. The other silly thing I didn't do is I didn't replace the string type with interaction type. Okay, there we go. Now we're all good. Everything's building. Cool. Cool, cool. So what's happening now is when we hit that F key, there's an event that goes out to the manager of interaction that an interaction has begun, and it involves this player character and this interactable target, which in this case is another character. And that's okay because so the interactable doesn't know that it's a character, it only has the transform, but that's okay because interactable is on the NPC character. Now, we might want to add to this actually, rather than taking the target here, which is a transform, we probably actually just want to make this the player, and we can always grab the transform off of the player, but we can't get the player from the transform. So we're going to change this and make it a character, which is a character core character. Yeah. Okay. We got another Pokemon song. So we're going to just assign the player that way, and that way we have the ability to do whatever to this player that we want. Okay, and now, and the thing is now we can use certain feedbacks, in which we specify, you know, all this data exists at a global level now. So anything that has to do with interaction doesn't really need to, need to do anything fancy. It has this interaction manager that has all of the information it needs at its disposal, as its disposal for who's involved with the interaction, what the interaction type is, and any contextual information that we need to put in there for it to do its job. And we're about to find that out as we try to complete this feature. Okay. We're just going to switch that to an initializer here. All right. So I think we're all good now. How can I tell that this works? Well, I don't think we do yet. Interact, so we're passing it off. Okay. Okay, yeah, everything's good. So that's the data connection. So now we actually can begin with our first task here, which is center the camera between the two characters and zoom in. Now I'm using this asset called well, I forget the name of the asset, but it uses these things called feedbacks. More Mountains, that's the name of the company who puts the asset out. It's a great asset. And the guy who makes it is pretty rad. I've chatted with him a little bit on the Discord, on his Discord, and he's always a super nice guy and willing to update the asset to any recommendations. I've been on there a few times with recommendations, and he's always been more than excited to put them in the asset. And you gotta love that. Great support there. So let's close all this stuff up. So this logic is going to exist on the NPC itself, on the dialogue component, because if you think about it, on the player's side of things are a little bit more generic to interaction. So the player just has this interactor script which can interact with anything, and that could be dialogue, it could be an item, switch, anything like that. So for the player, we just have interactor, and we don't want to put any of that dialogue stuff in here. The interactor basically just gets the interactable, and it says, hey, here's who I am, and I am interacting with you. And now that puts us here at the feedback interactable script that we have here on the NPC. Now, this has a few things. It has the canvas that shows the button icon above the character, has the radius in which that icon appears, and lastly, it has the reference to the MMF player, which plays these feedbacks. And to finish my point of all this stuff, the feedbacks are basically these events that we can have occur in a sequence. And so right here, I have this same list of sequences that I have in my to-do list here, which is center the camera between the two characters in zoom, move the player to the proper location and freeze controls, have the NPC face the player, pull in the letterbox, wait until all of that stuff happens all together, and then move in the NPC character portrait, and then begin the dialogue. So all of those things are events that are going to be handled by a feedback. So the first one we want to do is the camera one. Now this is going to require a custom feedback, and I haven't made one of those in a little while. So let's figure this out. Okay, so I have the feedbacks script folder, and the core folder here is for the players, the things that play the feedbacks, but we want just an individual feedback. And we're gonna call this here, what should we, okay, we're gonna create a new type of feedback here for camera function. So we're gonna create a new folder called camera. Okay. Now, this kind of breaks some standards, but it's the standard of the asset, so I like to match that. But we're gonna name this something funky. We're gonna name it MMF, all caps, underscore. And then what are we gonna say? We're gonna say camera. Oops. If I can spell. Camera center. Now I don't even think I want to say what the event is. I'm just gonna say camera action. Okay. And here's where we're gonna list different actions for the camera to take. So, oops. So we're gonna say the first one's gonna be a bool. What is going on with my keyboard? Why are you losing focus? Okay, Boolean. This is gonna be a. Happened again. What's going on? So the camera action is a little. Okay. I've come to an issue here because I'm trying to make this generic to a camera action. However, at the same time, it needs to know to zoom in on, basically needs to know about interactions, because it has to use that to center the camera between the interactor and the interactable. So we're gonna make the first Boolean be center on interaction. I think that's good enough. There's gonna be another bool that says, it's gonna be a float, and it's gonna say, look at this. Look at the autocorrect on this. I was just about to say distance, and it's already trying to autofill distance. It's crazy how they're integrating AI into autocomplete in IDEs now. It is crazy. And I'm about it. I think it's great. It makes my job a whole lot easier. Because all I have to do now is hit tab instead of writing out the word distance. But no, it actually is. It's a little scary how close it gets to the things that I want to know, what I want to do. Like right here, the only context it had was that the class name was MFF camera action. The first thing in the first one was called bool center on interaction. And all I wrote was float. And it was just like, you want distance. And I was like, yeah, actually I do. All right. So those are the two things that I need for this. Very spooky. Very, very spooky. All right. So let's just save that as it is for right now. Oh, actually, you know what? This needs to inherit from MMF feedback, I believe. Let me verify that. Oh, no, it should. No, I think it can. Yeah, okay, it can go through MMF feedback. Okay, so because I've added that in, it's now gonna have me implement the required members for this parent class. So I'm just gonna have the IDE fill those in for me, and that's just the custom play feedback. So what happens when this feedback actually plays? Well, right now it does nothing. I'll put like a debug log. That's weird. It wants me to put intensity in there, but there we go. Now it'll log the name of the script that's being called. Okay. Let's give this a little test. Oh, we've got a lot of errors. What's going on? Who is complaining? Display settings. What script is this? Did I do something? What's going on? Camera main. Why is camera? Oh, because camera ended up being a namespace provider, so we're gonna take that away. And then we're gonna go back to camera act. Oh yeah, see that this is not what we want. We used the More Mountains feedbacks namespace for this, so we're gonna put that in there. Remove that import, and now everything should just be fine. That's why it kept taking my focus away from the IDE before, because the IDE was basically choking on the fact that I created a namespace with the same name as a type, which was camera. Zelda, how's your nap? How's your nap doing, kitty? Hello, sweetheart. So sweet. So sweet. All right, we're thinking here. We're building. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is we need to add that feedback. And you know what? I didn't give it a category. So we need to do that. And I'll go to another feedback real quick, and you can see how that happens. Thanks, Sean. All right, Zelda. You get some pets. You get two-handed pets. That's the rule. You get two-handed pets. Why you look so grumpy? There you go. He gets the two-handed pets. Hope you're doing well, Sean. Thanks for stopping in. Racking up them patty dollars to spend on Zelda getting her pets. Alright, Zelda. How you doing? You feeling adequately petted? Oh man. Love it. Oh, nope. Nope. She brought it back. She brought the hand back. She needs more. Alright. So as I was saying, we need to specify where this is going to be in the context menu. Okay. So, and here we're, so the one I took from was a character weapon. This is going to be camera, and we're just going to call this camera action. Oh, Zelda, look at her. Keeps tapping me on the shoulder. Haven't had enough now, Zelda, huh? Look what you've done, Sean. You've created a monster who needs pets, and she will not leave me alone until she gets them. Alright, we're gonna stop now. Surely she won't come over and tap me on the shoulder again. She's just gonna lay there looking cute. Okay, so we just saved that and it's compiling again. Where's Zoe at? Zoe! Where's the other thick one? Okay. giving me the old tap on the arm. So you just got lots of pets, okay? All right, so now when we drop this menu down, we're gonna see that there's now the camera, which is actually a category that already existed. Oh well. We're gonna say camera action. Okay, and we're gonna drag this up. So there's no options yet. Which is actually strange. It should have those fields that I put in there. Oh, you know what? I didn't serialize them, but we're gonna hit play anyways, just to test this out. Look at her laying there. Zelda, you're so silly. You're so silly. You're such a silly kitty. All right. So now when we walk over here, we get the F. We press the F. All right, we have the dialogue triggered readout, but now we also have the camera action readout. So this happened. In fact, when I hit F here, you can see all those feedbacks all run all at once. And that's because I haven't timed them or anything. It is a list in sequence, but you need to put wait times between them if you want them to actually execute one after another in sequence. Also, one thing I'm noticing right now, well, she's trying to step over into the chair. One thing I'm noticing right now is this F is actually like clipping through the character. I don't like that. That's not good. Sometimes it's in front of them, sometimes it's in back of them. Right there, it is just flickering. We want to stop that. That is not allowed. So we're gonna have to go into the prefab for this and look at where that canvas is, and then on the Z position, we're just gonna put a 0.01 on there. And actually, let's see which direction. Oh, actually, we want a negative 0.01 because the negative is going forward. All right. Zelda, you're very demanding all of a sudden. She gets more ruthless with every pet she gets. She's never satisfied. You would think that I'm not just doing this for her all day long, every day, but I am. She's been sitting there all day, getting pets from me all day, every single day. Okay, so let's go up to this guy now. All right, cool. That bug is fixed. There is no longer any kind of fighting for Z sorting. The key is always in front of his head. Now, I might actually just want to make that so it's above his head all the time. However, that might be a little tricky because I don't know, maybe, but if I put it like there, yeah, that actually even looks better. So if I just put this as 1, okay. Ha! Well, then your hair is everywhere now. Ha! Ha! She sheds so much. Such a hairy kitty. She's not even like a long hair either. I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, she's technically all the short hair, but like, geez, so much hair. Okay, so it was at an X position of 0.75. Needs to be 1. Okay. Let's back out of there. I'm not going to retest that. I trust it. Okay, so this is where we need to actually do the zooming in the centering of the virtual camera. And now we're getting into some territory that I've never really done before. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on just how do you, what's the best way to manipulate these cameras? Because let's learn a little bit here. And this is usually when I just bring out ChatGPT and I just talk to it. Sort through, what are the different design approaches that we can take. So I'm just going to talk to it a little bit. I'm going to say I'm implementing Dialog in my game, and I want the camera to center between the two actors and zoom in when the dialogue begins. I'm using Cinemachine, which is the asset that Unity provides to handle camera actions like what we're going to be doing here. Should I manually manipulate the position and distance on the virtual, virtual camera, or should I use another virtual camera to accomplish this? What are my options and how would you rank them on good software design? And we're gonna use the ChatGPT model 03 mini high, which is good at coding stuff. So I like to just have conversations with this because I'm usually able to tell when it gives what it gives back, if it's something I want or not. Okay, so it says there are a few solid approaches, but in terms of good software design, you really want to decouple your dialogue camera behavior from your gameplay camera. There's a breakdown of the main options. So we can use separate virtual camera for dialogue. I had a feeling it was going to tell me that. I was hoping it wasn't, because I just don't know how to do that, but I knew it's a thing that I'm going to have to learn eventually, so here we are. So doing it that way, it creates a dedicated Cinemachine virtual camera that's configured for dialogue, centered between the two actors, and zoomed in. So my understanding as it stands as its own is what I would do is there would always be this other camera in the back that's not active, and it would be in the place that it needs to be always, or it would snap to it once we get up to the other, at like the NPC. And what we would do, instead of having the main character zoom in, we would actually have it switch to the other camera, which does like a transition, and Cinemachine does all of this in itself. So like we don't have, so I don't think like, and this is why we should do it this way. Because what I was about to do is I was about to take the distance that it's currently at and the distance that it needs to be at, and then it's like, okay, and how long of a period do I need to make it to zoom to that position, and then I'm going to lerp it to that, or interpolate it to that, and yeah, like I can see, and so Cinemachine does all that stuff for us, I think. So we're gonna have to dabble with that and see how it goes. Okay. Zelda, your hair's everywhere. So let's keep reading this because it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay. use another approach, use Cinemachine's blending as the brain to transition smoothly between your. Okay, so that's just what I described. So basically what it's saying here is what I just said, and I already knew this. I just wanted to pretend I didn't, but this is the proper way to do it. It's the way that Cinemachine is designed to be used, and that is the way that I should be doing it, and that's why I decided to go through this method of verifying that, because ChatGPT is going to be able to describe to me how to use it a little bit better than me digging through the documentation. It's going to do it in a lot more human-friendly way, and I'll just be able to read it out loud, and it'll all be good and everything. So the advantages of that is separation of concerns, keeps dialogue-specific behavior isolated from the rest of your camera logic. So everything that I was just saying that I was gonna do, like determining the distances between them all and everything, I was gonna put in that class. Yeah, it's gonna abstract that out of it, and that is a good thing. And it's less work that I have to do. Ease of tuning, you can tweak the Dialog's camera settings independently without worrying about interfering with the gameplay camera behavior. Yes. This means I don't need to figure out how to go backwards, is basically what it's saying. I don't have to, when the dialogue ends, it switches back to the other camera. I don't have to do that same logic in reverse now. It's just handled once. Smooth transitions. Cinemachine's built-in blending makes transitions clean and less error prone. Yep. You're saying I'm a bad coder. I get it. I probably am. Recommendation. This is usually the best object. Okay. So we're going to just go right to, well, no, it says some, so here's the second option. Here is the one I was bringing up. Manipulating the existing virtual camera. Dynamically adjust the position, rotation, and zoom of your current virtual camera when dialogue starts. Advantages: simplicity. If the dialogue is very short or the behavior is very minor, you might avoid having multiple camera objects. That is a good point, and that is what I was definitely going for. Now, because this is something that we're going to be using in a lot of different, we're going to be using the dialogue a lot, so we might as well just do this the proper way. And it even has here what the drawbacks are. We're coupling, yep, and we're in the maintenance issues of adjusting parameters on the fly might be harder to manage and debug, especially if the game grows. There we go. That's what I was saying. We're going to be using this a lot, so it's always better to do things the right way at the beginning, so as the game grows, it's adaptable. And so the third option is use a Cinemachine target group. Ooh. This is a good one, and I almost forgot about this. So the approach is set up a target group that includes both actors. The camera's composer can automatically center on the group, which helps both positions and framing. So what it's saying is our gameplay camera is always centered on the player character, but all we do really instead is just say, hey, center on this thing too. And what a target group does is it determines the center point between all of the targets that we give it. And that's way more extendable than what I was gonna do, which was gonna couple it to only two. And this is just, it's just a list. So this works really well. Now, this doesn't solve the issue of the zooming, I don't think, though. You can combine this with either of the two methods above. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the first one for handling the zooming, but we're still going to use a target group to handle the in-between. So, okay. This is all good. All good stuff. Okay. So let's figure this out. How do we transition between virtual cameras and Unity? I've never done this before. It's been on my list to do because Cinemachine is such a great asset that Unity provides in you know, like out of the box for Unity. You know, you don't have to use a third-party asset to do this. It does a lot of, you know, it can handle a lot of cool camera tricks out of the box that I don't have to do too much for. So, all right. So let's look at the virtual cameras that we already have. So here's our existing virtual camera. And interestingly, we're using a deprecated script here. Cinemachine virtual camera is deprecated. Use Cinemachine camera instead. Oh, that must be new. Okay. Oh yeah, Cinemachine Confiner's also deprecated. Okay, so one thing we should do is actually make sure that this asset is up to date. So, well, I said it is out of the box for Unity. It's kind of. It doesn't come with Unity, the installer, but it is maintained by Unity as a company. We still need to go into the assets, the package manager, and make sure that we have this installed, and that's a good thing, because you know, not every project is going to want this thing. So and there it is right there, and we are not on the most up-to-date version. We're on a version from October 4th 24. So we're going to update. I still have to think about who's going to be the thing to trigger when dialogue ends. That's something I'm not quite sure how that's going to... It's going to have to be from the dialogue manager. Or not the dialogue manager that I created earlier, but the dialogue system manager. Because that's going to be the thing that is actually ending the dialogue between the actors. Okay, we just updated Cinemachine. Let's cross our fingers and hope no errors occur. Nope, looks like everything compiles correctly, and that's good. Sometimes when you update assets, you get some issues like that, and they're never fun. Okay, so let's try to fix this issue that we're dealing with now, which is we shouldn't be using Cinemachine virtual camera anymore. That's news to me. So, you know what? Let's get the proper instructions. Let's say, can you step me through creating a new Cinemachine camera? Now I'm wondering if this is, because I said virtual camera before, and it was talking about virtual camera, so I'm wondering if it even knows that it's deprecated. I'm gonna put it in there, actually. I'm not gonna try it. I'm gonna say which is the newer version of virtual camera, which is now deprecated. She's finally asleep again. Back to her slumber. Still very hairy. Okay. So yeah, I knew there was a way to do it here. Cinemachine, okay. Oh, actually, I thought there was a better way to do it than the way it's describing. It's actually telling me just the manual way. I thought there was a... I'm gonna maybe not listen to that and look a little deeper. I thought there was actually a context menu that auto created it, but maybe not. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna create a new game object, and we're gonna call it gameplay Cinemachine camera. Is that what it was saying that it should be? Or that's what it's called? Yeah, it's called a Cinemachine camera. I hate that name though. I feel like VCam was always better. I guess I could just say CC, gameplay CC, or C camera. Cinemachine camera. Boom, there we go. Cool. Let's open the properties of this up and just keep it off to the side. Make sure that our properties are set up the same. So It looks like I had priority checked and set to 12. I don't know what the point of that was. That might have just been me fumbling around at some point. I'm not sure. Perhaps. Okay, so for body, where's the body? Huh. This doesn't have body on it. I don't know how to do this now. Alright, we also have the confiner. Confiner 3D, cool. We're gonna drag our confiner in there so it works. Oh, here's all the extensions we can add to this. So there's a storyboard, there's a de-occluder, a follow zoom. Interesting. I wonder what that does. Camera offset. Oh, I wonder if camera offset takes the place of the body settings that I was just looking for, because I do have some tweaks on that. I make it just a little bit raised from the center point of the character, because the center point is actually at his feet. So I like to raise it up a little bit so it's more like the center is his chest. Oh, and camera distance. Yeah, how do you set distance on this new version? Okay, well, let's put that camera offset on here. And, oh man. Well, let's see what other extensions we have. Recomposer, autofocus, impulse listener, group framing. Group framing is the thing we're gonna want with the interaction dialogue camera, but we don't want it for this one. There's post-processing, there's free look modifier. Free look modifier. Oh. Yeah, none of these other ones look like what I want. Huh. That's very interesting that we can't set, so I'm gonna turn this. Actually, I'm gonna set the position of this camera to the same. Copy position. We're gonna paste it into this transform. And we have a 30-degree rotation on it. So now when I turn this VCam off, yes, it is the same way now. Okay, good. Oh, apparently these were, I'm gonna pull this out. Okay, I'm gonna add this to the prefab. And that way, when we go in here, I accidentally created this inside the virtual camera game object. So we're gonna wanna pull that out. If I can find it, there it is. So VCams. Why is this stuck here? Go away. Oh, no, it wasn't. It's all good. We're all good. We're all good. We're gonna turn off this VCam here. So let's play the game and see what happens. I'm wondering how much more I need to change to update to this new camera. Uh-oh, she's up and she's tapping my arm. Okay, so already I can tell it's not functioning the way it's supposed to. It's never setting me as the target. So this is a concern. Because when I turn... Oh, wait a second. Okay, so so this is what I was talking about earlier with the transition between targets, because when I turn on the old camera, whoop, and when I turn it off, it goes to the one I just created. And so that is a nice transition, and that is what the transition will be. Actually, I can simulate that right now by having this one. How do set distance? Here it is. So we set that there, and then the offset, we're gonna set it right in the middle. All right. Is this Outer Wilds? Yes, it definitely is Outer Wilds. I love the song. Yep, it is. Great game, by the way. One of my favorite games. Okay, so why is it giving me the debug? Anyway, so when I turn this off, turn it on, it's basically something like that. I like it. But so something is setting this follow on this camera, and whatever's doing that is not doing it to the new VCam. So we're going to turn this off, and we're going to take a look at this again. Okay, there's the problem. I turned off the wrong VCam. I'm going to turn this one off. So this one should be the priority. I'm gonna play again and see what happens. I'm out of my G Fuel. No more caffeine for the day, Zelda. I gotta sleep in a couple hours or something. I don't know. All right. Oops, I was muted. I get bad allergies, so I always try to mute the mic when I'm doing my sniffles. But sometimes I forget to turn it off. Alright, so we're just gonna test out this camera controller script, which tells it to follow the player. Already I can tell it's not working. Okay, so something is, I wonder if there's a guide on this. Cine Machine update from virtual camera to cinema machine camera. Oh, okay. So apparently there is a script that they released that will upgrade the entire project automatically for you. Cinemachine 3.x introduced Cinemachine camera as the primary camera object, replacing the older virtual camera. Option 1 is upgrade the entire project. If you have the script references, animation tracks, or if your cameras are part of the prefab instance, use upgrade entire project option. Oh yeah, there was a button here. I didn't even see it. Wow. I'm kind of blind, I guess. All right, so we're gonna delete. Actually, no, we're gonna rename the original one to the gameplay because we know that we're gonna need multiple here. So we're gonna rename that now. We'll call it gameplay CC just because I don't like the full name Cinemachine camera. And we're gonna turn this back on. Okay, we're gonna save. And I'll play real quick just to make sure everything is back to the way it originally was. Okay, and it is. Okay, great. So now we're gonna do the upgrade button and let's just see what happens. Okay, well, it's taking its time to end play mode. Alright, there we go. Okay, so here we go. The upgrader. You can convert the deprecated Cinemachine components in this project to the Cinemachine 3 equivalents. However, custom scripts that interact with these components will not be altered. Okay, good to know. And I wouldn't have expected otherwise, I guess, but if your custom scripts reference deprecated classes and APIs, they will probably break. Please see the Cinemachine upgrade guide for the tips and techniques to smooth your upgrade process. Error and warning messages will be logged to the console. Okay, undo is supported for options 1 and 2, but not for 3. Okay, options 1 and 2 are disabled. I have to do 3, which is in converting the whole project. All right, let's see what happens. I made a backup. Go ahead. Yeah, sure. Zelda, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong, kitty? Ah. She's getting needy again. Zelda, your tongue's out. Put that away. Oh, she's leaving. God, so hairy though. Everywhere. Alright, so I don't know how long this is gonna take. Hopefully not too long. We can look into some of the stuff that we're actually, no, this is a good opportunity to check to see what kind of stuff we've been doing with the camera that may potentially break. So we're just gonna camera.main is normally, or no, it's, yeah, what is the, yeah, what do we do with camera? You know what? I don't do a whole lot with camera. I do know that. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, it's camera.main with a capital C. Okay, so I don't think I do anything. Actually, oh, look, virtual camera. That's what I need to be searching for. And it looks like my perspective controller class uses that. That'll be easy to fix, probably. And that's it. Okay, cool. This isn't too bad. This is just a script I use to have some debug keys that let me move the camera in and out, just for the sake of being able to zoom in and during the game. Just to see things better. I use it all the time. Alright, this is still thinking, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run this 2.5 minute ad early. I'm gonna take a quick bio break, and I'll be right back. All right. Cool. Moving file failed. Awesome. Access denied. Okay. Try again. I feel like try again won't work. Spawn. Interesting. Not sure why that would fail, but okay. And if I can't get this to work tonight, I can just move on and do something interesting again. Or just do it manually. Actually curious, because it's like a lot of the basic things that I do with cameras, it just wasn't letting me do, really. Like, positioning and all that. Oh, did it work? It worked. Cool. We have 341 errors. Oh my god. Okay. We're just gonna hit the big old clear button on that. And, I'm just gonna hit play and see what happens. Just see what happens when I hit the play button. And see how long it needs to think for. Oh, nope, there it goes. Okay. So I basically have what I originally had, which is a camera that's doing nothing. Great. Okay. So I'm guessing all it did is it just replaced the script, but it didn't do any of the things it needed to, like correlate its distance and its body offset to any kind of script that does anything, which is what I thought the whole point of doing that process would be. Guess not. All right, let's take a look at what it did do. Oh no, it did try. Interesting. It did put on this thing called a position composer. Yeah, okay. And, or wait, did I add that? Oh no, these are the things I think I maybe, I don't know. Oh no, it did all those things. So I think the problem is that it's not, a tracking target is required for the, yeah, okay, so tracking target. Okay, so the problem is we're not assigning the tracking target anymore. And to be honest, I don't even know what was assigning the target before. I'm guessing it's going to be something in gameplay control or manager. So we're going to go to that script first. Manager. Let's see what we have here. Nothing really says that it relates to camera. So we're just going to search camera. Okay, here we go. Set target character. It's an event. So we're going to search for that event. There it is. Set target. Cinemachine camera controller. Here's where we're setting the target. Okay, this is interesting. So this script, Cinemachine camera controller, that's the one that I'm using here. Okay, so instead of target, we need to set tracking target here. So target character. Where do you go? Where do you go? There it is, right here, virtual camera dot follow. We don't have those here anymore. You got to get out of here. No more Cinemachine virtual camera. That is now Cinemachine camera. All right. There we go. Get that out of here. Cool. Now, the question is, though, I don't think it's the follow anymore. I think it's tracking. Yeah, what do we use? Is it still follow? It might still be follow, and the issue is just that we didn't get the virtual. Actually, yeah, let's check this out. I bet what happened is it decoupled the what am I doing? Decoupled the camera from the gameplay manager. And since it locks the link, it was no longer setting follow on it. But I still suspect follow might not be the right thing to set it to, so I don't know, we'll see. Let's go to the managers here and then gameplay manager. Oh, no, that wasn't the right thing. Oh, you know what? No, this was on this script here and it was searching for the wrong thing. Okay. This thing right here follows the camera, can find. Okay. So we're just gonna hit play and see what happens. But I am suspicious that follow isn't the right, because it calls it something different in the inspector. It was called tracking target. There it is. Oh, okay. I think it looks like here that tracking target is attached to follow as the same thing. Okay. Target.tracking target. Interesting. Hey, there it goes. That worked. So we just needed to use the virtual camera, or not use the virtual camera, so we can move around now. Great. Cool. So this is us restoring our. Actually, I wonder if they. Okay, my script to zoom no longer works. And it's perspective controller, and that's because I'm still using the virtual camera script. So let's go back and let's try to figure that out. So we're gonna remove the virtual from the Cinemachine camera. I guess we need to. I hate renaming things because then it puts that. I'm gonna keep it the same name. So what do we have here? We need to change this for find active camera. And then interesting, brain still says active virtual camera is linked to an interface of Cinemachine camera. So it seems like they're trying not to break people too hard, but they're in like this dilemma now where they have multiple names for the same thing. Basically, for the same reason that I was just saying I hate renaming things, and this is why. Okay. And now, remove that. Okay, I think we're all good again. But we got both cats. We got both of the big ones here. Zoe came by to make some biscuits. She's going to work. Got business to handle. Those some good biscuits you're making, Zoe. She looks very focused. Very serious business, actually. She needs all of her focus on the biscuit making. Okay, let's play again and see if I fix that script. This wasn't too bad. That updated script helped a lot. So I'm glad it did that for me. What is it, 9:30? How long have I been going for? Almost 2 hours. Wow. Time, I swear, time just goes by so fast when I stream. It's like, it's one of these things where I like streaming game development because it helps me focus on the task and gets me talking about it and understanding it a little better. But at the same time, all that stuff takes away from actually accomplishing it, like, quickly. But at the same time, if I wasn't streaming and I'm not talking in the camera, then I'm getting distracted by other things and I'm equally distracted anyways. But time just goes by, I swear. Interesting. My script is only changing the angle and it's not changing the distances. Distance. This is the distance here. M camera distance. So that must be a field that's deprecated. So as we get a framing transposer, okay, I bet that doesn't exist anymore. Yes, it even says it right there. Transposer is obsolete. Okay, so we have to fix that too. So what do you want us to use instead? Use Cinemachine Position Composer. Position Composer, okay. And then camera distance. All right. Was that it? I think that was it. I think that was it. We try again now. So yeah, as I was saying, time just goes by. I do want to keep streaming though, because I feel like I'm getting into a groove, but man, I wanted to do so much more with this today, but that's what happens when you have a day job. So I didn't really get to dive into any of this until 7:30 tonight. Today's a short week at work for me too, just because I'll be going to New York City on Thursday to attend the game dev meetup. That'll be cool. Gonna meet a bunch of people in the industry down there, see what they got going on. It's gonna be something I'll be doing more regularly, going down there every fourth Thursday of the month. I'm not bringing my game this time, but I'm gonna be bringing my game next time and possibly all the times after that. Yeah, we'll see. I'm really excited about it because I live in upstate New York and we just don't get... There's just no game developers up here. I've just been doing this all on my own, and I don't know. It'd be cool to meet some other game devs that are somewhat local, I suppose. All right, let's get this going. Come on. All right. So there we go. It do be working now. So this is the two buttons I've paired to the zoom in and out. I like to keep that just for debugging purposes, but we are back in action. Okay, so everything is as it was is meant to be now. So this means that we can get back to the original task, which is creating the camera for the dialogue. And let's see. I was looking up some steps before on how to do that. Whoa. Okay, so I'm looking up instructions on how to set up this other camera, which will have two targets, and then how to switch between them. So let's see here. All right, we have our gameplay CC, and I'm just gonna duplicate this, and I'm gonna call it Dialog CC. Dialog CC, of course, meaning Cinemachine camera. Okay, so now we got 2 of these. And I'm just going to put a random like distance of 5 on here rather than the 10. And we'll just start that up and we'll switch between the 2. Meanwhile, I'm gonna look at so we need something called the target group. The target group is what allows us to add a second target, and then it knows to center between the 2. So interesting. So that means we want to, yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to switch between the 2 cameras. Something's gonna need to be aware. All right, so we have the 2. Okay, so right now both cameras are on. I'm gonna turn. Okay. There we. Okay, so all right. Yep. So when I turn on the dialog camera, boop, that's what it does. That's good. That's what I want. But we need to do that programmatically. I might also even like make it so that it's like a lower oops, hold on, let me do this a different way. Like a lower angle. Nah, I don't know. Like what if we just made it completely side to side? Oh well, when I'm that low, it actually screws up the aiming. Okay. So what do we do next? Let's test out this target group, which I don't know if that's really the thing. Target group, Cinemachine target group. Okay. Okay, so its targets are gonna be me. Oh. I have to add 2 of these. So the first one is this here. And the next one's gonna be the PC, but that doesn't seem to be working even if I toggle it on and off. Okay, I'm gonna assume that target group is not what we're supposed to use. So I'm gonna add a new extension, and we're gonna see group framing. Group framing sounds like, no, but that doesn't have a list of transforms you can give it. Let me look it up. So I'm looking if target group is the class that I'm supposed to be using for it. Yes. You'll want to use Cinemachine target group class when you need the camera to consider multiple targets. The component lets you add multiple transforms, such as your 2 dialogue actors, and you can set weights and radii for each target to fine-tune how the camera calculates its focus point. Okay, so why didn't it work? Oh, we set the follow to. Okay, okay, so we're gonna go backwards a little bit here. And the look at target in the Cinemachine camera must be a target group. Okay. So I just didn't read. The look at. Where is the look at? Let's read that again. The look at target in the Cinemachine camera must be... I don't see that, but I will. Whoa! You see that? That was weird. That's not what I should be doing. I'm gonna change that. Oh yeah, use separate look at target. Okay, there it is. There it is. I'm gonna drag this there. All right, and then I'm gonna remove that. Oh wait, no, I didn't do this right. Hold up. Wait, we gotta go backwards again. That I had the group framing. There it is. Okay. So now let's try that again. Use separate look at target. And we're gonna set the look at target as the group framing, and then I'm gonna remove the... No, doesn't like when I remove the tracking target. Consider adding a Cinemachine group framing extension to frame the members. Oh, okay, so I needed both of those things. Group framing. Okay. Okay. Let's put the player back in the tracking target. Oh man. Oh, it is struggling. It is trying to do something. It don't know what, but it's trying to do it. Let's put itself. Okay, no, it should not be itself. So when I take it away, okay, what is there anything? A target, okay, a tracking target is required in the cinema. Okay, so we still need a tracking target. Interesting. But what is the... Let's see. What am I doing wrong here? I'm gonna put the tracking target back in. It really doesn't like that though. Oh, is it because there's no weight? Oh, that was it. There was no weight. Okay. So now here we are between the two. We're a little close. Just a little too zoomed in, I think. So framing size. Okay. Okay. So if I move, oh, that's cool. I like that. So it's always kind of figuring out what the center is. And it seems like there's actually a bit of an offset on that center. Like it's a little above it. And I'm wondering if that's the, yeah, that's this negative watt. Let me zero this out and see what happens. Yeah. And then it just updated. Okay. It's all making sense. So when I move around, it's going to always, I'll expand this a little bit more. So as I'm moving around, there's this like, this circle here with its center, and there's some dampening happening. Oh, you know what? I was thinking it always goes to the yellow, but it actually rested here this time. That time it... Do I have both cameras on? I do. I'm gonna take that one away. I was thinking that interfere. Oh, interesting. Actually, no. The yellow is supposed to... I'm confused. Because we have a yellow on this guy here, and that's my... I'm not sure. Let's take away the... Okay, I could take away the tracking target. Okay, now we're talking. Okay. So what's going to happen here is we're going to look here and yeah. But we still actually do want that offset. Okay, so camera distance no longer matters. Huh. Where was that? Oh, I'm on the gameplay camera. I'm dumb. Okay, so we're back to the way we were, but as I was just saying, we do want some of that offset, but I don't remember how that offset was calculated before. Oh, screen position. Ah, there it is. Okay. Screen position. So we're gonna zero that out. And we actually want it to be like a negative 0.2. Okay. And then camera distance, we're gonna go in a little bit. Oh, it's really fighting. Why is it fighting? Oh, is it because I had that? Whatever I just did. Oh no, it needs my tracking target. Because now the distance doesn't work anymore. Weird, it's like really fighting me. I keep changing the camera distance. Oh, that's because we're not using that one. We need to use framing size. Okay, so we use the framing size and that lets us go in a little closer. And we should be able to move screen position. Oh, no. I don't think we're supposed to be doing that either. Ah, center offset. There we go. Okay, so we can raise it a little bit up like that. Okay, cool. Dampening. All right, so if that's one of those things that if I set to 0, it's going to be a lot more snappier. Oh, what is going on here? See like the weird camera stuff that's happening? It's like he's lifting off of the ground. That's not right. What is happening? Why is he like floaty? This is so weird. As you can see here, he's not like moving. But in here, he's like floaty. Oh. I'm wondering if I should just turn off the position composer entirely. Let's actually just remove it. Okay, well, it didn't break anything, but it didn't fix anything either. Yeah, it's like it's getting floaty. It's when I'm doing this. You can see he's like shifting around, and that doesn't make any sense to me. What are you trying to do here, buddy? Oh wow, look at the grass. The grass is doing it too. What is happening? All right, there's some serious issue going on here. and I think it's the fighting of the different cameras. So I actually have multiple cameras set up between the ground and the things that are on top of the ground, and that is because of the 2.5D perspective. Everything that sits on the ground is kind of clipping through the ground. And I have a camera that only sees the things on top, so it paints it on top of the ground rather than having it clip through the ground. That's just the way I needed to do it for a lot of different reasons. So what's happening is there is an issue. There's like it's almost like one is dampening and the other isn't. I wonder if I put the dampening back on. No, we're still, oh, this is so weird. Oh, I bet okay. I understand. Kind of, maybe not. So whenever the camera zooms, all of the objects in the level actually need to angle to always face the camera. And when that doesn't happen, you get weird effects like this. But this doesn't seem right. It shouldn't move like that. It's like floating. So strange. So strange. Oh, I wonder if... Whoa, buddy, look at this. All right, we shouldn't be doing any rotation, so I'm gonna do only change position. But I'm kind of wondering if there was any... Nope, there's no rotation happening. Field of view range. That can explain it. If the field of view is changing, it should never change. That can explain it. Oh, you can just see when I locked it in, everything went back to normal. That was it. There was like a field of view change. There should never be a field of view change. So that was the problem that we were just dealing with. Okay, I feel much better now. I don't know why it was doing that. I don't know why you would want that. I mean, let's expand that again, because I'm actually curious, like, why. Let's go out a little bit. Yeah, the field of view thing is so subtle. I don't even know what the effect really is that it's doing. So I think I'm usually set to 40 field of view, but I have to confirm. Yeah, 40. Okay, cool. So that fixed that. I was starting to get a little worried there about what might be going on. Okay, cool. So if I was to turn on my gameplay camera right now, it goes back to the usual. If I would disable it, it goes to this. So the effect would look something like that between dialogue and not dialogue. But I like it. I'm hoping we can be able to set the blend on that, and I'm sure you can. It's probably somewhere in the Cinemachine brain. The brain, which is, I don't even know. Gameplay cameras. There it is. Blend update method. No. Lens mode override. Nope. Okay, default blend. Oh, here it is. 0.5. I don't. Okay, so there is some things. I wonder what happens when I just put this to 0. It probably snaps. Yep, it just does a snap. And so I bet if I then put this to 1, it's very slow. Or a lot, or slower than it was. Let's see. Yep. Slower. So we're going to want to be able to detect, you know, when this transition begins and when it ends. And yeah, that's pretty much the next step here. But we also need to, so I've been in play mode this whole time. I need to make sure I set everything the way it's supposed to be set. So what did we do here? We added a group framing and a target group. Okay, target group, and then we use the extension to add the group framing. And then we set the group framing in the look at target. Now, interestingly enough, how do we set the target while the camera is not the active one? I'll have to think about that. Let's see. Oops, I do not mean to do that. Okay. Tracking target is required. Yes, I know. So right now we have the controller. Okay, but there's 2 controllers on both. So actually that's fine. It's gonna, both are going to grab the player. So, okay, that's good. Framing size. I don't remember what we did for any of these, but I do remember for field of view range, we want to snap that to 40/40 always. And I think we can remove the position transposer since all that's going to be handled by the group framing now. Okay, I think that's it. I think that caught us up. So let's play that. Let's play that back. Uh-oh, Zoe took the seat. She took the top seat. Zelda's down at the lower bed now. Can't see her. Yeah. Okay, so right now both are on. Where I'm gonna turn off one of these, and then I'm gonna turn it on. Okay, so I think the problem with that is that I never set the targets. And that's okay, and that's to be expected because they need to be set during runtime. So I actually need like a script on here to identify what the targets will be based off of the interactor manager that I ended up creating earlier. For right now, we'll just drag and drop these in just to make sure it's the way it's supposed to be. So let's turn this on. Okay, still did not like. Oh, that's because we needed to turn the weights on. I remember that now. Yay. Okay, and this is like some sort of, oh, radius. Okay, so that like lets us determine if we want to be closer or further from the other, but it's strange because we can still do that with weights too, so I don't understand why there's two values needed. Yeah. Okay. So turning them on and off does what it's supposed to be doing. Cool. Now we won't be able to move anymore once the interaction begins, because I'm gonna make it that way. All right, so we need a script that sets the target group. So the first thing we need to do is we need to switch the active camera. So I think what this means is we need a new manager class. Wow, we already added one of those today, and now we're adding another. How fun. Getting kind of hungry. Getting kind of hungry, as I always do. Man, that burned dairy I got down the road, it's dangerous. They got sandwiches, they got pizza all night long. We got everything. It's just too easy to go down there and start munching. All right, we're gonna shut this down. Okay. Let's keep going though. I'm gonna say camera manager. Okay, cool. And we're gonna say there needs to be a gameplay cam and a dialogue cam. We also need to set up an instance management. I'm gonna actually just take the. Actually, how do I do it on the other ones? So I have so many managers now. We have this thing here called Singleton, Singleton. Do I use that on all of them? Yes, I do. Okay. So, how do we Okay, so I'm looking here and there is a priority that we need to manage. So I'm going to set this. Oh, I'm going to do an awake. This is a Unity event function where I'm going to initialize these priorities. Gameplay will be 10 and the dialogue will be a 0. So this means it starts out that the gameplay one will always be have priority. I'm actually gonna look up whether is priority better to use than setting the active state on the Cinemachine camera game object, because that's how I've been doing it. Advantages of using priority: smooth blending. Changing priority allows the brain to blend between cameras smoothly. This leverages the built-in. That's not true. That's a lie, as I've just been doing it the other way. Decouples management. I guess that's okay. Flexibility. With priority, you can easily adjust which cameras take precedence at any moment, and even set up the intermediate blending states if needed. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go with the priority. And so now we're gonna create a new function and call this set camera. And actually, let's do another enum too while we're at it. Enum camera type. Oops. And we have gameplay and dialogue. Okay. So input to this function will be camera type, and our switch will be the camera type, and we're going to list our options here of what things might be that we that we'll see. Okay, so we gotta put a break there. Okay, so I actually see a little bit of an advantage. We could just make it so... No, that doesn't work. It's kind of a bummer because we always have to set all of the priorities, because I was thinking, well, what if we just... You know, it would work with 2. If there's only 2 cameras, then we could always have the gameplay priority set to 10, and then we just toggle the dialogue back from 0 to 20. But once we introduce a 3rd camera, then that whole logic scheme falls apart, because, well, yeah, there's a 3rd object. So I'm going to have it so they go back and forth between 10. Okay. Cool. Oh, let's change up the music. Let's get some Doom Eternal. I should have some new songs coming through for the game soon too. Actually, no, I won't play that. Actually, can I? a different. I think that when I do my own game track, it doesn't come through properly. I have to figure that out in the OBS settings later. Yeah, let's just play some Doom. Okay, so we have our script to change between cameras. Now we want to go back to our game here, and we want to actually create the camera manager game object. Okay, and then we assign it the two cameras. Perfect. Okay. So now we can finally return to our camera action feedback. Actually, you know what? There was already a category in feedbacks for cameras. So I'm kind of wondering now if there's already something in place to do this stuff for us. Now, I know there won't be something to do the group framing in terms of the action or the interaction manager, but that's okay. I feel like maybe we can do most of this out of the box. Let's check that out now. So we're gonna go to the neutral or the NPC here, and we're gonna look at what camera stuff is available. There's a shake, there's a zoom, impulse clear, transition might be the one we need. This isn't what I want. No, we're gonna create a new thing as we were doing. So we had a script that we created called, there it is, MMF camera action. And now we also want to say public camera type, camera type. The one thing that I forgot to do earlier with this was set the serialize field tag on these, and this will let me set them in the editor, the inspector, in the editor. So we're going to, okay, so it can't find camera type, the enum, and that might be because I didn't make it public, or it could be because I don't have the namespace on it. I did make it public, so it's just an issue of the namespace. And I spelled it wrong. Okay. So let's have it so camera manager sets camera. Nope. We're gonna say instance dot. I set this to be a singleton of game manager. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Okay, there we go. Set camera. We're going to pass in camera type. Okay. So let's send it that way and see what happens. I should do an Eternal playthrough on stream sometime. I actually never beaten that game, though I enjoy it a lot. Okay, so we're gonna bring this up to the top. and it seems like it still isn't showing the categories of the fields here. So we're gonna have to open up an existing one that I have here just to see how I did it before. Okay, yeah, we need an inspector group. So we're gonna drop that in there, and we're just gonna call the, I feel like I have a standard for this. What do we call these? Configuration, maybe? I don't know. Getting kind of sleepy, getting kind of hungry, but I don't want to stop because we're making some pretty good progress here. I am gonna really have to lock down on the progress for the next 5 months in preparation for Anime New York City to get this demo right. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna say this is Dialog. All right, let's see if this works now. I'm excited. Finally get to see some results for what we've been doing the last hour or two. Things doing things on their own instead of just me playing it around in play mode. All right. Oh, there's Zelda. She says meow. She says meow to everyone. All right, so we have our camera here. I'm gonna back it up a little bit just so there's a bigger difference. And we hit F and... Okay, so that is what it's supposed to do because we haven't set the targets of the group yet. So that worked, that's good. So we're gonna end. Even though it zoomed into nothingness, that is what we wanted. Now, this means we need a custom feedback just for setting the group targets. So I'm gonna look at how to do that the right way. So we have, what is that script called again? Group framing. So let's see, we want to go to our interaction data. Which has our interaction manager, which has an interaction data. And that has the player and the interactor. And these are the two transforms that we're going to need to use to set the group framing targets. So let's create a new feedback. This soundtrack is so good. Okay, we're gonna call this MMF camera group framing. We're gonna inherit from MMF feedback. We're gonna implement those missing members. And oh, you know what? we need to be a little more specific to this class here. We're gonna say this is gonna be camera interaction framing, because this is going to be specific to the framing of an interaction, but which is interfacing with the interaction manager. So let's see. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we want the interaction data from interaction manager instance, and there should be a current interaction there. And then we're gonna I just had the GPT machine create this for me, which is gonna handle that interaction. So we're gonna pass in the data. Yeah. And this is not the function I thought it was gonna be. Target group. Okay. We need to figure out how to get the target group. Okay. Okay, hold on. So we're gonna want weight to be 1 and 1. The radius can be 0 and 0. But it doesn't like these initializers. Why don't you like... Okay, because it needs to be... Wait, there we go. Radius. And what is your... Its object is the other one. Okay. There we go. Okay, now this is fixed. So this thing here, this target group, we need to grab from the main camera. New targets. New targets. Camera. Okay. So this here, target group, we grab from camera dot main dot active. How do we get that? Active. No. Brain. Let's look this up. Active camera. Oh yeah, we're doing it in the right here. Get active brain. Where do we get that? I'm just gonna look up the line to do this. Ugh. Okay, so oh my god, it is not as clean as I thought it would be. Zoe's got one of her wet food containers that she's just throwing around out in the hallway, having a whole bunch of fun. So here's someone asking, how do we get this stuff? Because CM supports multiple cameras and brains, there's no built-in concept of the brain. However, if in your context you know that there is only one, then it is reasonable for you to make that assumption. Oh, you know what? This is dumb. We know this is for interaction, dialogue. Oh, actually, that's a good point. I should have named that camera interaction camera instead of dialogue camera. But either way, we know this. We need the dialogue. So this is where the camera manager comes in handy. Camera manager dot. Okay, we actually need. We need a getter, and it's going to be the same as the setter in terms of structure, where we have get camera and the camera type, but instead of setting the priority, we're just going to return gameplay cam. Oh yeah, we need to set the return type to Cinemachine camera. And this one is going to be dialogue cam. However, I want to change that now to be interaction camera. Oh, Zelda. I'm crawling back for some pets. I'm crawling back for some pets. We got Yami in the chat. Requesting the pets. Requesting the pets. Yeah. Spending them patty dollars. That's the second. She's got her airplane ears on right now. She's ready to take off. Typing is kind of hard. Yami. I mean, cool, dude. I hope you've been feeling better. I was gonna reach out today to see how you're doing after I sent that meme to you. I don't really remember what the meme was, but I remember I sent it. Hope your arms are doing better, less broken than they were last week. You gotta do the double hand pets. It's a requirement. Do a little double hand pat. Yeah. All right. Now she's not going to leave me alone for a half hour. Still very much broken, but less broken, hopefully. But hopefully you'll be able to start using a computer a little more easily soon. Because yeah, that's ain't nothing good about being computerless. I don't know how I would survive that. Be getting all that Netflix in though. Oh, by the way, I ended up watching Parasite. I was telling you about the other day, as like one of the best rated movies in the last 10 years. It's crazy because I looked it up today on Rotten Tomatoes, and it like from critics reviewing, there's like 400 critics and it's a 99%, which is crazy. Like if you look at, like, for instance, Squid Games has only been rated by like 80 critics and has like a 90. And not to say that Squid Games is like amazing, but like just like a point of comparison, it's just like how much and how many people love that Parasite movie. And I watched it, and it's good, not great. I don't know. I don't consider it a masterpiece that it seems like other people consider it as. It was a very good movie, but I don't know. I think I went in with too high expectations, unfortunately. But still worth the watch if you got Netflix. Yeah, wrong Parasite. You know what though? I did try to watch the Parasite live action show on Netflix as well. And it just couldn't keep me engaged. Like, I always wanted to go back to it, because here's the thing. I didn't really give it too much attention when I was watching it. And therefore it didn't really stick with me, unfortunately. But I wanted to go back, but yeah, I wasn't like super impressed by it, unfortunately. List of targets. Oh. List of dot to list. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have the script here, and now it should... This is a good song, by the way. Now we should assign both of the actors in the dialogue to the camera, so we should zoom into the characters now properly. Oh, wait, no, we shouldn't, because we have a error still somewhere that I hit play, and now I'm stuck. Zelda's back to sleep. Okay, what is the error that I have to deal with? Oh, if the default case, which is return null. Okay. But yeah, I know typing's hard for you, so don't worry about responding. Thanks for coming in. Okay, let's start. Let's give this a test. I'm feeling good. It's gonna work. First try, as always. It's always one try is all I need. Bugs? Never had one before. Okay, so here we go. Moment of okay, it's already wrong. It's already broken. Oh my god. Why? Wait. Wait a second. Well, first of all, I didn't even add the thing I was supposed to add. But this is broken in oh my god. Yeah, because theoretically nothing should have changed. Oh, I know what the problem is. Because I changed the name of the camera. Okay, do over. That didn't count. It wasn't a bug. I just didn't do it right. It's a difference. We're going to rename this to the interaction CC. And then we're gonna go back down to here, and we're gonna add the You know what? I don't think we put the category on the framing. No, we did not. That is just simply not allowed. Okay. And errors. Serializable. Apparently you don't know what that is. Okay, there we go. All right, now we need to add the feedback, which is camera, interaction framing. Cool. We're going to drag that up and we're going to have it be right after camera action. Now that's important because... Oh, actually it isn't important. It'll work either way. Yeah. All right. Try number 1 because the first time didn't count. Try number 1. We're gonna get this first try always. This is my song. That's how I know it's gonna work. This is my song. It's a sign. Okay. All right. Already things are working according to plan. That's better than last time, which didn't count. All right, we're gonna press F and everything's gonna work. We're gonna zoom in. We're gonna zoom in and it's gonna look great. Actually, I'm gonna zoom out just to emphasize how great it's gonna look. We're all the way zoomed out. All right, we're gonna hit F to dialogue. Boom. Oh yeah, that was perfect. We did it. We did it, everyone. We can all go home now. All right, but that is clearly too zoomed in. But that's fine. So here I actually think is a good opportunity to set that interaction CC group framing to be the proper distance. We're gonna probably want like that distance, which is let's say a 1.15. Yeah, that's a good one right there. Yeah, this guitar is beefy. Some beef, some thick beef. And then, let's see, offset. We can probably bring it up like 0.1. Actually, let's zoom in a little bit more. 0.25. And then, let's make it a 0.2. No, I think still 1.5 is probably the right way. And then I'm gonna take this one. Okay, so 0.15 and a negative 0.1. Okay, so we gotta turn off plane mode in order to set that stuff. What did I say? 0.15 and then a negative 0.1. Oop, I said 2. Okay. So we're gonna save that away, and now this time when we do that again, it's gonna work better. Warm my hands on my candle. Feels good. All right, here we go. Second try. First try worked though. This one will too. Boop. Oh, weird. It like zoomed in so fast that it bounced back out again. That's strange. That's weird. All right, we're gonna set the priority back to 10. We're gonna try that again. That was strange. Okay, that time it didn't do it. That's so weird. But this is good. This is good. We're doing things, and they're working. That pretty much checks off the center camera between two characters and zoom. So we're gonna click that button, and you're gonna hear the nice chime from the Windows or the Microsoft To Do, and then we're gonna move on to the next one, which is move player to proper location and freeze controls. That's a scary one because that means we're adding. A-star pathfinding capabilities to the main player character, which is something I've yet to do. Now, it already exists on the NPCs. That's how they're able to walk around when they're attacking you. But this is the first time we'll be adding it to the player character, in basically taking controls away from the player and requiring that player character to move somewhere on its own. So that'll be interesting to implement that one. I'm gonna try that thing again where with the super zoom where it bounces. Let's try that again. Let's see. Yeah, it's so weird. Like the transition is so drastic that there's like a bounce to it. I don't like it. It's also like a little too fast, but also that was such a drastic, like I had the camera all the way out. It's never gonna happen, but that is interesting how there is like transition physics involved with the two cameras that even introduces a bounce like that to begin with. Very interesting. Okay. What else do we have to do? We also have to draw in the letterbox of the dialogue. You know what? Let's do the dialogue right now. That's an easy one. And it might not even need any special code. Let's see. We're gonna do an event, a Unity event. And in this Unity event, we're gonna drag in the dialogue system trigger. And we're gonna say for it to is it on use or start? Ooh, I don't know what the right function. Oh, fire maybe? Fire. I'm trying to think, how did this work? Oh, you know what? I had a script that did this before, and it was called something. It was called Dialog System Trigger. Nope, that wasn't what it was called. It was called Dialog System. Nope, that's not what it was called. Dialog Interactable, and that one really is what it. Okay, it was. Okay, so on use is the function we need to call. So we're going to change that to be on use. All right. So now we should have dialogue capabilities when we press F. Also, I noticed that I had a YouTube viewer and that you followed me. Whoever you are, thank you very much. That means a lot. Okay, let's test out the let's test out this. Okay, dialogue did not trigger the way it was supposed to. Why did it not do that? Oh, because there's no action. No. Oh yeah, there's no action on this anymore. That's strange. That one didn't count, so it wasn't a bug. I just didn't do it right. I didn't configure it right, so it's not a bug. All's fine. So we're gonna say conversation 1. Okay, this time it'll work. I promise. Getting kind of hungry. Getting kind of sleepy. But we must continue! Alright, let's see if this works now. Nice! Yo, that's so sick how it goes into the cinematic, like, letterbox. It happens way too fast, though. That transition... we're gonna have to do something about that transition, and I know just what to do about it. We're gonna have to go back to the camera, Cinemachine Brain. Also, we need to figure out how to sync the duration of that that letterbox coming in with the camera zooming in. And so right now I know that we can alter the duration. Oh yeah, here we go right here. The duration of the blend in seconds. I have it set to 0.5 right now. So I'm gonna set it to to just 1 second. So it's gonna take double the time now to zoom in. And now I bet that there's probably a way to set the length of the letterbox. But how do? Top panel, bottom panel. There's got to be some sort of animation duration. Maybe that's not exposed. Main panel, dialogue panel, yep. So something here needs to have a reference to these images. I don't see it anywhere. Oh wait, here's an animation controller. Which, oh, there's the animations right here. Okay. So the show is set to speed of 1, but I have no idea what those units are. Whatever. I don't have to worry about it right now. But I'm interested. It's bothering me now. Oh, here we go. Okay, I know. The duration. Oh, the duration was 0.5. Interesting. So what I have to do is I have to go into here and set it to... Oh, there it is. Okay, so I just need to drag this up to be 1 second. Which is 60, which is Wait, is that point? Yep, 1 second. There it is. Okay, cool. And we probably want to have the hide do the same thing. So I'm going to drag that to be here. Okay, cool. So let's play and try again. Okay, now let's see if this takes a little longer. Okay, the zoom took longer, but the animation did not. Interesting. It's okay. Okay, so we did the drawn letterbox. We need to do the character faces player. And that's going to be a new script. So normally the NPCs will there's different ways we can do this. In fact, I'm gonna try it. We might need to create a new behavior, a new AI behavior for NPCs that just allow them to look. But honestly, I am getting sleepy and I am getting hungry, and Zelda wants more pets. So I think I am going to call it a night here, and it's been a fun stream. It's been a productive stream for the friends who came out and said hey and spent some patty dollars on petting Zelda. Thank you very much. And even if you were here lurking, there's a bunch of lurkers tonight. Thank you very much for coming out. I hope you come and lurk again someday. Yeah. I'll be in New York City starting not tomorrow, but Thursday. So I probably won't be streaming again for another few days. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow, but I'll probably be getting stuff together ready for my trip to New York City, where I'll be meeting some cool game dev people, and that'll be fun. And I'll be able to tell you all about that when I get back. But yeah. All right. Thanks, friends. I'll see you around. Peace.